Hello again, so happy you could join me on this beautiful day. I hope it's a beautiful day wherever you're at. I'd like to start out by thanking all my viewers and subscribers. I really do appreciate all the comments. I try to get back with you as soon as I can. And what I've heard is through the site we're having a difficult time finding the next volume. Because I broke it down into segments, just the sky, just the water, the beach, and so on. So what I decided to do now, make it easier, is just put it all on one site, all on one volume, whatever. Have it not broken down. That way you could break it down or fast forward it or do whatever you want to see the whole thing. It'd be a lot easier from what I've heard. So that's what I decided to do on this one here. So this is a pre-stretched canvas, 16 by 20. Spray painted different colors on there with your local hardware or hobby shop paint. Put the painter's line. I would do another beach scene, maybe with some, maybe a pinker hue to it. I loaded the whole canvas with a thin coat of liquid clear. That'll help the oils go on a lot smoother. So that's where we're at. That brings you all up to date. I'm going to start out with some white. Just titanium white. I'm going to do some clouds, just like that. And we'll come in and we'll put some right here. Maybe have it go all the way down. Take the blender brush and just take the corner of it. We're just going to tap this. Just like that. I'll tell you what, let's come into some. Let's come into some black, midnight black. Darken it up some. Maybe we'll come in and we'll have something going on right up there. Don't want it too dark. I just wipe some of it off. I didn't care for that darkness up there. Doing the same thing, circular motions. Wiping more of it off. Just a gray. I just want a gray tint to it to go in with that white. We're going to go back and forth, I think, with the whiter, lighter, brighter grays, and well, who knows. We just go right across. Come in with the blender, tapping that in. Kind of blends it in with the white. All the way. All the way across. Maybe we'll put some more gray down here. Come in from some of that white that's there. Circular motion. The clouds are kind of like everywhere. They're just like, just here and there. Just tap it. Tap it. Get that muffled. That muffled look that we're looking for. Come into some more white. Who knows? We can put some back here. Trying to get that to stand out more. It's kind of going all over the place. Wipe off some of that excess. Come in and just tap a little bit all over. Step back, see what's happening. Come into some liquid white. Liquid white and the gray that's on there. You get a different look. Another effect to the sky. Another cloud in the area. Who knows? Maybe it goes just like that. It goes all the way down. Now we'll come in and put some seagulls. Seagulls on some little brush like that. Maybe there's one right here. One right here. I'll highlight it with some black to stand out more. Underneath the wings, and get some black on there now. They're right where their beaks are. Right underneath that wing, you'll see that black. Like that. Wiping a brush off, using odorless paint thinner. It's always a good thing. Now we'll come in and start getting some water lines going. Gotta use some more white, titanium white. Kind of any thicker white that you have is always good. Get a little roll of paint off of it. Just like that. Oh, let's come in and just tap some here. Just here and there. Maybe it goes off. You don't see much out here. It goes off into the distance. I'm just scraping down. You automatically get that stuff happening. I'm going to take the blender brush, just slightly go across. Not going to take much. You're going to see it when you're doing it. You're going to get some different looks. Just want to create whatever you look that you decide that you want. Another roll of paint. Maybe right here where the sun is or the light is. Might be a little bit more happening here. all the way. Just like that. Take the blender brush again, come through here. You can stretch out that wave as long as you want it to go by adding more pressure. Looks like it's rough in there. Got all kinds of things happening. Okay, maybe here we'll have something going on right here. All the way. Come into the blender brush. Just go back and forth now. Like I said, you can make these waves. Do all kinds of things just by you pulling it. It could go right off the canvas. That looks pretty good for some waves. Maybe we'll come down in here and we'll add some beach, more waves closer to the shore. Just drawing a little roll of paint just across that top here. We want our beach to come here and come down. So we'll just tap a little line in here. All the way down. Just like that. A little bit more paint. Just coming in where we think it might be, the waves. Here and there and here. Come into that fan brush again we used. Gonna clean the brush off. Want to get just that white. Just like that. We'll pull this back. Just from that top of that wave. Rubbing it in and pulling it back right where you think that the foam might be. Foamy stuff happening. Got some beach going there. Looks pretty good. Another roll of paint, and we'll come in here. We'll get some things coming back here too. Take the blender brush. Go back and forth. More paint. Cut some of that in down there. Take the blender brush or the fan brush. Pull that back. just like that. Got some different layers. Maybe it's not real rough coming in, but if I take this brush here, just grab into some liquid white, come in and tap some of this off, where some of these might be crashing in. And some of them might not. Just here and there. Just like that. Now we'll come in to this little fan brush. I'm going to come into some colors, maybe some colors that we have back and through here. I'll tell you what, we'll come into some pinks, maybe a little brown for the shadow. Get a pinky hue to it. Pull it right down from here. Here and there. Just enough to get that look. Okay, we'll come into the blender brush. We'll pull down. Then go across, muffle it, soften it. But what I see is we need more weight. I think we need more weight in there. More weight, just like that. Come in and pull it down. Get that glare. The glare you might see in the water. Here and there. Okay, we'll come in here. A little closer. Pull some of this white down. Right where the waves might have been crashing in. You get that reflection from the water. Some of it might be darker. Just using the edge of the brush. Just using the edge. Come back in. We'll get some more waves going there. We'll highlight it. All the way down. Take the fan brush and pull it back. Just using the corner of it. Like that. Grab some white here, and we'll pull some white down here. Just like that. Off this brush, blender brush. Got that happening. Let's throw some more white on there. Down, go across, gives you that wet look. Taking the blender brush, blend this back. Or the fan brush. It's got some white on there, and that's good. Use some more stuff, mist and foam and happening back here. Just like that. Okay, let's come in and put some beach area in. So I said it was going to be a little bit of a pink hue. So we're going to add a little bit of a brown color, like a little bit of pink, just like that. And who knows? Maybe we're going to have a beach right here. I don't know, maybe it goes right across, just like that. We got something else going on up here. Maybe this goes right off, and there's nothing coming from the other side. Okay, we'll get some white going. I'm going to tap that right on top. And you'll see that colors that's going to come out. We're just going to take from this what we're blending in here and pull it back. Going to clean that off. It's got all those different colors on there. I'm going to come into just some white. Just white. Then we'll use the blender brush and blend that back. We'll just use some white. Just tapping it. Maybe it's got to be more, a little more darker back there. I want to get that pink hue to it. Come in with the blender brush and just tapping it. All the way down. Get the different layers going on. The different hues. But the pink thing's happening too. Just that pink hue to it. That pinkish look. I mean, that goes right across. Come into some more white. Just piling it on. Where we might want the that reflection to be. Cleaning up that blender brush because we want to get mostly the white. The white with that pink hue to it from the sun. All kinds of little things happening back in there. And keep adding as you go till you get that white brightness. That you're trying to capture. Maybe that goes right off. Who knows where that goes? Got some different colors happening. Maybe just a little bit of red to get some pink going right at the top. Some of that red. We'll blend it in. Blend that in, get that look from that sun. just like that. Let's come in. Let's come in here. Let's come in here and put a lighthouse. Maybe our lighthouse is right here. Maybe it goes all the way down. Maybe it goes down on both sides. Maybe it gets a little thicker towards the bottom. Maybe we have some gray on it. Maybe we've got some gray coming over here. Near the bottom. More on the bottom. Wipe some of that off. Pick that up, what's already on there. And as it gets closer to the bottom, it's going to be more. The gray is going to get thicker. It's going to be more of a shadow. Come into some more white. Kind of blending that down. Clean off that brush. We'll come into some grays, do some windows. Just a little brush, just like that. Maybe there's a window right here. Maybe another one right there. There it is now. Now, we'll use the same brush here with some white on it and some blue. Blue, blue on the edge. We're going to come in and make the light. And maybe on the other side we'll add more white. We'll come in with some white here. Just to get that look. That look of glass maybe up there. Okay, now we'll come into this brush here and we'll get into some reds. Some reds for the roof. Just like that. We'll come in and determine where we want our roof to be. Shade it in. Wipe off these brushes. Now we'll come into some black. And we'll put the antenna. We'll put the antenna up here. There you go. Now we'll put in some rails. Put into some down rails. That. Come into the blender brush or the little brush here and kind of straighten this up some. Maybe get some shadow down here. Maybe get some shadow underneath that. A little bit of shadowing. Okay, got that going on. Let's come into some greenery. Maybe some palm trees. So we got that brush we used with the liquid clear on. We'll come into some sap green. Pull it in one direction. You get the rounded edge. Just like that. Now we'll come in and we'll tap some of this up.